Chairman.
Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Chairman, anyone who gets up on the hustings and said that the Labor Party is opposed to ultra-fast broadband would be a liar.
No, it's true.
Anyone who got up on the hustings and said that we're opposed to rural broadband improving would be a liar.
It's true.
Anyone who got up on the hustings and said that the Labor Party did not support and promote the use of ultra-fast broadband for education would be a liar. Anyone who got up on the hustings and said that Labor didn't support the use of ultra-fast broadband for health would be a liar. I don't know who would be stupid enough to tell lies in that way, Mr Speaker. I don't know who. I hear there might be one or two people around who are prepared to tell that sort of lie, but, Mr Speaker, they would be foolish to do it. What Labor wants, and Labor has made very clear, is that we want ultra-fast broadband, but what we don't want is an inappropriate subsidy to the overseas owners of telecom, and what we don't want is an inappropriate regulatory environment which is coming in under this bill. And I think, Mr Chairman, it's come in because, to be fair, and I don't think there's any debate about this, the telecom lawyers, the telecom engineers, the telecom executives are a lot brighter than the Minister. They're a lot brighter than the Minister. They have basically conned him into an arrangement whereby they have a regulatory environment where they have a licence to print money. We're told that the average connection cost for them is about $2,500. We're told that the average connection cost for Vector is $700 or $800. Now that might be better explained by the method by which they do it and the concentration. That could be the reason. But Sir, we're also told that the average return, the average cost on this is going to be $50 a month per consumer. And even Sir Roger over there can do the maths, and he can work out that that's a 24% rate of return. That's a 24% rate of return on each of those connections. And I say, Mr. Chairman, it is just outrageous that we have a government which puts into the law a guaranteed return of that type, and then says, what? If the Commerce Commission finds that you are rorting later on, we'll make the money up to you. If the Commerce Commission applies the rules, even the bent rules that this Minister is promoting, and finds that the Telecom or any other minor organisation that is involved has breached the almost unbreachable rules within this arrangement, then there is an underwrite for them. Well, Mr. Chairman, that is something which is just clearly not acceptable to people on this side of the House. What is acceptable to us is a fair set of rules. I mean, and Mr. Speaker, I think it's fair to say, Mr. Chairman, under this bill, due to come into force, Mr. Chairman, I don't know. It's coming in. It's coming in the day after. Part of it, the day after, the day it receives a royal assent. Except part of it comes in under. Sorry. Well, the idea that the retiring member understands broadband or legislative matters, much less the pair of them put together, is something which is even making her colleagues laugh. It's even making her... I can see Maurice Williamson rolling his way around in his chair, laughing at the suggestion that Sarah, what's her name? Sandra Goldie. Gowdy. Sorry, she's made an impression on me over these years that she's been in Parliament. Mr. Chairman, the suggestion that she understands is wrong. But, Mr. Chairman, I do want to go back to the question of the shape of the commencement clause and in particular the fact that as a result of the deliberations of the Select Committee, it has been divided from, Mr Chairman,
Trevor Mallard.
Mr Chairman, from one clause into 4 subclauses, and asked the Minister how that will be affected if in fact Telecom choose, as the Telecom shareholders can do and are currently considering, not to enter into a structural separation. Now there's a good argument that some Telecom shareholders are putting that they should sit tight, they should maintain their copper network, they should compete. They've got an advantage of incumbency a long way around the country, and not proceed with the structural separation. And can I ask the Minister what effect that has on subclause 3, clause 2, subclause 3, which of course is the requirements on Telecom to publish. And Mr Chairman, the next question I have goes to a drafting question, and that is whether separation day and which is subclause 4 and subclause 3 are in fact appropriate subclauses to have within a commencement date. Now we know that the separation day, which may or may not occur, is something which is involved in I think both parts 1A and part 2 of the bill. But Mr Chairman, what I'm not sure of, and I'll be obliged to the Minister to tell me, is whether in fact separation day is something which is appropriate. Now we can see in subpart 2 it says comes into force on separation day, but only if an order of council has been made under section 23E. But Mr Speaker, the question is whether Telecom, and this is an interesting question. I thought the Gazette was an official document. Well, how can Telecom publish something in the Gazette? How can Telecom gazette something? Well, they can't. Well, the officials are wondering now. Telecom must publish the separation day in the Gazette as soon as practicable after it's known. Now, well, it may be. It may be that this in itself, as part of a commencement clause, creates a special right for Telecom to publish something in the Gazette. But, sir, I then want to... Does that nationalise Telecom? Does that mean that Telecom... because only state organisations, of course, generally can publish in the Gazette, and often it requires a ministerial signature to do so. Is there any implication? And I now see a lot of potential here as an old left winger. Is the minister here having a sneaky nationalisation of Telecom? I think it's fair to say that this minister in his MediaWorks, I think he is going to nationalise because it's going to go broke. It's going broke. It's going broke. He's lost the government's money. Going broke. Order. No, he's not going to broke. He's going to get it back.
Order. Point of order. Oh, sorry. Christopher.
Mr. Chair, we've allowed quite a wide-ranging debate, but this is the title and commencement clause. It is fairly narrow, and in respect of the former minister there, he's going way outside the scope of what I think is the title and commencement clause.
Yep.
Speaking of point of order.
Or I'll hear the member.
Mr. Chairman, this is, I think it's fair to say, in all my time in Parliament, I have never seen as part of a commencement clause a requirement for a private sector organisation to publish something in the Gazette. That is in this clause. It is unique and it is therefore debatable.
I agree that is debatable, but I think that some of the illustrations the member were using, I was struggling to see their relevance to his argument. And I just, in that respect, I uphold the point of order, but I ask the member to debate the issue upon which he said was in the clause.
Well, point of order, Mr.
A new point of order?
Well, a related point of order, Mr. Chairman.
No, I've made a ruling and I think it's a fair.
Okay, all right. Well, in an attempt to avoid the chairman's struggle, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, that's getting close
Well,
to
Mr. Chairman, the Mr. Chairman did say he was struggling to understand and serve. That's and I wouldn't have set up myself. I wouldn't have set up myself.
I want to respond to that because the member knows that he can't bring the chair or the speaker into the debate. That's right. So I'll rule him out on that grounds. Right. Proceed.
I'm sure you do resemble the remarks there. Mr. Chairman, the point that I am making is under the Commencement Clause, Commencement Clause 2, Subpart 3, but related back to Subclause 2, there is a requirement for Telecom to publish a date of separation in the Gazette as soon as it is practicable after it is known. Now, the question that I am asking the Minister is there an ability, other than this, is this the clause which grants Telecom the ability to act as if it was a government organisation? Does this require a ministerial signature? Normally, for something to go in the Gazette, it goes in by the authority of a minister or a chief executive or similar. And who's the agent? The agent here for?
The question is that clause 1 stand part. Those of that opinion will say aye.
Aye.
Contrary, no.
No.
The ayes have it. Noes have it. Party vote. The clerk will conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
58 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes opposed.
Green Party.
9 opposed.
ACT New Zealand.
3 in support, 2 opposed.
Māori Party.
3 in favour.
Progressive.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote in favour.
Honourable Chris Carter.
1 opposed.
The ayes are 67, the noes are 56. The motion is agreed to. The question is that clause 2 now stand part. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. Ayes have it. Party vote. Clerk will conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
58 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes opposed.
Green Party.
9 opposed.
ACT New Zealand.
3 votes in favour, 2 opposed.
Māori Party.
2 in favour. 3 in favour.
Progressive.
1 opposed.
United Future.
1 vote in favour.
Honourable Chris Carter.
1 opposed.
Any other votes?
The ayes are 67, the noes are 56. The motion is agreed to. Question now is that clause 3 stand part. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. No. Noes have it. It's party vote. The clerk will conduct a party vote.
Clause 2.
Right. Clause 3.
New Zealand National.
58 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes opposed.
Green Party.
9 opposed.
ACT New Zealand.
3 votes in favour, 2 opposed.
Māori Party.
3 in favour.
Progressive.
1 opposed.
United Future.
1 vote in favour.
Honourable Chris Carter.
1 opposed.
There's 3 questions.
The first one was the closure.
No, there was no closure. There was no closure. There was no call. A point of order, Chris.
Recast the United Future vote.
Yes.
1 in favour.
1 in favour. So, United Future.